This is a Flying Cow production.
Well, hello and welcome back to Movie Battles here on the Flying Cow, where we take the very best in Disney Pixar movie trivia and we put them head to head. And I, of course, am your host, Clay Johnson, the Flying Cow himself, and here today calling this very special second round tournament match is sensational Sorsha Masters. Sorsha, it's been a while. How are you?
It has been a while. I've been busy, but I'm good. I'm excited to be back.
Good, good. It is great to have you here for tournament season. Like I said, this is a second round match. Exciting stuff. We have our match today between the Spaniard, David Garcia, and the MadDog, Brian Nussbaum. I'm sure it is going to be an exciting match.
Oh, definitely. They're two very strong competitors. I'm excited to see what happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what do you say we go ahead and bring our competitors on in here? Introducing first, coming in with a record of 3 wins, 2 defeats, and 1 knockout. He is the Spaniard, David Garcia.
Hey,
David, how are you today, sir?
I'm good. Ready, I guess.
Yeah, I gotta say it is great to have you here with us today for the second round match. You are going up against Brian, somebody you've never faced here in Movie Battles before.
Cool.
This is your first time in the second round of the tournament here at Movie Battles. How
That's
are you
awesome.
feeling about your chances today?
Brian's really good. He's really good. He has beaten people that I personally know are monsters of the game. And yeah, I have seen him in other things, but Disney is where he thrives. So yeah, I'm gonna have my work cut out for me. But hey, I mean, I have pulled off harder victories.
All right. Well, I gotta say, good luck to you, David.
you.
Let's go ahead and introduce Brian. And his opponent, representing the Mad Dogs with a record of 5 wins, 3 defeats, and 3 knockouts. He is a member of the 2022 Elimination Gauntlet Final 5. He is MadDog Brian Nussbaum. Brian, how are you, sir?
Feeling good, great to be here for a second round match. David, I played before in Geek, and I'm looking for revenge on him. He knocked me and my teammate out.
Oh, all right. So a little bit of vengeance on the plate for you today. I gotta say, like I said, David, this is his first time in the second round, but you are no stranger to the second round of this tournament. Last year, you made it all the way to the semifinals. Do you predict a repeat of that today?
Anything could happen.
That is absolutely true. Anything can happen. So what do you say we go ahead and bring David back in here? All right, and let us go ahead and move forward with reading of the rules for round number 1. In round number 1, 8 questions from random categories will be given to all competitors. Competitors will have 15 seconds to write each answer. Answers in this round must be spoken aloud when revealing your response. All questions are worth 1 point. If either competitor gets all 8 questions correct, they will have a perfect round and receive a 1-point bonus question. Competitors also have 3 repeats that they can use at any point throughout the match. So if you just need a little bit more time or you want to hear a question again, use your repeats. Competitors also have a challenge. If at any point they disagree with the ruling of a question, they can challenge. If their challenge is upheld, they will keep your challenge. There is no stealing in this round. All right, so competitors, are you ready? All right, Sorsha, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, then I don't know about you guys, but I feel ready for a movie battle. Action begin. And we will start in round number 1 with question number 1 in the category of early classics and classics. These are the films mostly of the 30s through the 50s. And your question: in which film will you find a rabbit in a waistcoat and a cat named Dinah? I don't know how I would react if I saw a rabbit in a waistcoat. You have a rabbit, right, Sorsha?
I do have a rabbit.
Yeah.
He doesn't wear a waistcoat though.
I was about to say, and that I can't imagine trying to dress him in a waistcoat. That might be problematic. Yeah, not a
Don't
good
do
idea.
it.
No.
Not a good idea.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we are starting with David.
Alice in Wonderland.
It is Alice in Wonderland. Brian.
Alice in Wonderland.
Absolutely. So they are tied at 1 going into question number 2.
All right. Question number 2 is in the category of Renaissance, mostly the 1990s. Which of these films did not feature the voice of David Ogden Stiers? Pocahontas, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Tough question in round number 2. These voice actors, you just got to ask yourself, how well do you know your voice actors? We will see in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, Brian, we're going to start with you.
The live action movie is coming soon for The Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid is correct. And David?
I said The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
All right. So Brian takes a 1-point lead.
Who is he, the Hunchback?
The Archdeacon.
He's the Archdeacon.
Yeah.
And the Belle Notre Dame.
All right. So Brian with that 1-point lead going into the 3rd question in the category of the dark times. These are the films of the 2000s. And your question: in which Disney animated film was released in 2007?
An underrated film, that's which one.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people, anytime you talk about the dark times, there's always defenders of one film or another. I will say there are a few that have very few, if any, defenders. But
Yeah.
This is one that I have heard some defense for in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, going to David.
Not sure about that one. Meet the Robinsons?
It is Meet the Robinsons. Brian.
Oh, you underrated. Meet the Robinsons.
All right. So Brian's still leading by 1, 3-2 going into the next question.
All right. Question number 4 is in the category of Pixar. You can hear the voices of Richard Ayoade, Rachel House, and Tina Fey in what film?
All right. Sounds like a good cast to me in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right.
All right. Brian, what you got?
Good thing has playing for Soul.
Soul is correct. And David?
So,
Soul is correct.
All right. So David holding Brian to a 1-point lead, 4-3, going into the next category, hybrid and Muppets. And your question: in which film will you hear that life's a happy song?
Is life a happy song, though?
You know, sometimes it's a sad song, sometimes it's a chipper song, sometimes it's a little bit more of a dirge. You know, it comes and goes. It comes and goes. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, David.
the Muppets.
The Muppets is correct. Brian.
Oscar Willie, the Muppets.
The Muppets, absolutely. All right, Brian still with that 1-point lead, 5-4, still perfect going into the 6th question in this round.
All right. The 6th round question is in the category of the decline and wilderness. These are the films of the 1960s through to the 1980s. You will find the characters Skippy, Toby, and Lady Cluck in which film?
Yeah, some interesting names we got there. Toby, I think, is the only normal one amongst them.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Skippy, that's kind of like a nickname. I can't imagine it being actually a child's name. Would they name you after peanut butter? In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right. Brian, we're going to start with you.
Christian Housen as in Robin Hood.
Robin Hood is correct. And David?
Right.
Robin Hood is correct.
Very nice. All right. So Brian still going strong, 1 point ahead, going into everybody's favorite category, package films. These are, of course, the short collections of the 40s. And your question: not counting connecting scenes, how many individual named segments are in Fun and Fancy Free? You'll get 20 seconds on this one.
That question hurts my brain.
Can I get a repeat on that one, please?
A repeat, sure. All right, that is Brian's first. All right, and your question in package films: not counting connecting scenes, how many individual named segments are in Fun and Fancy Free? Yeah, these package films, gotta say, I've watched them a few times for this. There are very few that I want to go back and watch again outside of needing to write questions for. I mean, I definitely have like my favorite segments and stuff like that, but beyond that, they can be kind of dull. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and we're starting with David.
I think it's just the 2.
2 is correct. Brian.
Thank goodness I put 2.
All right, so Brian keeping the perfect streak alive, going into the final question in this round. Can he claim the perfect round? We will just have to see. David not doing too bad behind him. 7-6 is the current score.
All right. Your 8th question is in the category of CG Revolution, the 2010s to the present. What actor, producer, and musician provided the voice of Chief Bogo in Zootopia?
Zootopia. I enjoy this film, but for some reason, it always kind of sticks me a little bit because it won Best Animated Feature over Moana, and I strongly disagree.
I also very strongly disagree with that.
I mean,
Even
I
Moana.
like Zootopia. It's a good film, but Moana's the best in my opinion.
I agree.
But manta rays.
3, 2, and 1. All right. David.
Brian.
Oh no,
Brian.
You go first. Yes, sorry.
Okay, so it's me. So
Alright.
he's Black Superman himself, Idris Elba.
Idris Elba was correct. And David?
I was like, what the hell? And then I remembered he was a DJ. Idris Elba.
Yes.
Idris Elba is correct.
He does style himself as a musician. Yeah. All right. So, Brian, nailing the perfect round. So, Brian, you are going to get the opportunity at a bonus question. You do not have to write this answer down. You have 15 seconds to answer your question. In which film will you find the voices of Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Martin Short, and Martin Landau?
Frankenweenie.
Frankenweenie is correct for 1 point. And with that, Brian has increased his lead. Poor David was right on his heels the entire time. And now Brian has pulled up by another point. He is now up by 2, 9-7, going into round number 2. So let's go ahead and bring up the rules for that. All right, in round number 2, also known as the wheel round, each competitor will spin the wheel up to 2 times. If you do not like your first spin, you can choose to spin again. However, if you land on opponent's choice, you are stuck with that. Competitors will get 4 questions in their category. Questions in this round are worth 2 points. Multiple choice is available. However, if you use it, the value of the question drops to 1 point. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. Opponents may choose to steal if a competitor gives an incorrect response. Repeats and challenges are still in effect. All right, so Brian, like I said, you are currently in the lead by 2, so you get the choice. Would you like to spin first, or would you like to defer to David?
I'll defer, please.
All right, Brian is going to defer, so we're going to bring up the wheel for David. David, can you see the wheel?
Yep.
All right, then David, this spin is yours. And it has landed on scores and soundtracks. So, David, would you like to keep that, or would you like to spin again?
All things on that wheel that don't really... but I'm gonna spin again.
Spin again. All right, looking for something a little bit more favorable than scores and soundtracks. Ooh, and I think I got it. He has landed on spinner's choice. So, David, you get to choose. What slice on that wheel do you want?
Give me... I'm gonna go with early classics and classics.
Early classics.
Well,
and...
wait, actually, can I change?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me villains, please.
Villains. All right. So David has opted to go with villains, landing on spinner's choice, choosing villains. So he is going to receive 4 questions in the category of villains. And David, I am going to be asking these questions to you. All right. And David, your first question in the category of villains. What is the first name of Tarzan villain Clayton?
Wow. Multiple choice.
Multiple choice it is. All right. And your options there are, is it A, John, B, Reginald, C, William, or D, Harold?
John.
John is actually incorrect. So, Brian, you are going to get the opportunity to steal for 1 point. What is the name of Tarzan villain? The first name, sorry. What is the first name of Tarzan villain Clayton? Is it A, John, B, Reginald, C, William, or D, Harold?
Between two, I'll go with Reginald.
Reginald is also incorrect. We were looking for William.
Ow.
Oh, that was another guess.
Clayton.
I don't remember it in the movie.
All right.
Very forgettable.
So, no points exchanged there. David, moving on now to his second question in this round. All right, your question there. Tony J provided the voice of the sadistic asylum warden in Beauty and the Beast, as well as what other Renaissance era villain?
Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
That is correct for 2 points. All right, so David bouncing right back, tying the score up, and he's still got 2 questions left in this round. Let's see what he can do with it. In Cars, what is the name of the antagonistic green race car voiced by Michael Keaton?
Chick Hicks.
Chick Hicks is correct for 2 points. All right. With that, David takes a 2-point lead. We'll see if he can widen that margin with his final question. What is the name of the dim-witted goat who serves on Long John's crew in Muppet Treasure Island?
Oh, Jesus. Joe's gonna kill me. Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. All right. And your options there. Is it A, Clueless Morgan, B, Black-Eyed Pete, C, Slappy Joe, or D, Angel Marie?
Nice. A.
Clueless Morgan is correct for 1 point. All right, so not a bad round for David. Tough luck on that first question, but he did pretty well after that. 2 2-pointers and 1 1-pointer to get a 3-point lead on Brian. So we will have to see how Brian does in his round number 2. All right, Brian, can you see the wheel?
Yes, I can.
All right. Then, Brian, this spin is yours. And you have landed on early classics and classics, the films of the 30s through the 50s. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
I'll spin again, please.
Gonna spin again. Brian looking for something more friendly. And he has landed on scores and soundtracks. The wheel bent on scores and soundtracks at some point in this match. So Brian is going to get 4 questions in the category of scores and soundtracks. And Brian, these questions are going to be read to you by none other than the sensational one herself.
All right. Question number 1 in the category of scores and soundtracks. In which Muppets film will you find songs such as Hey, a Movie, Stepping Out with a Star, and Couldn't We Ride?
The Great Muppet Caper.
The Great Muppet Caper is correct for 2 points. All right. Question number 2. Who composed the score for Pocahontas?
I'll take multiple choice on this one, please.
All right. A multiple choice. Is it A, James Newton Howard, B, Mark Mancina, C, Bruce Broughton, or D, Alan Menken?
Oh, two. Alan Menken?
Alan Menken is correct.
And with that, Brian ties things up at 12.
All right. Question number 3. Who composed the score for Cars 2?
Cars 2. I'll take multiple choice on this one, please.
Okay, multiple choice. Is it A, Michael Giacchino, B, Thomas Newman, C, Patrick Doyle, or D, Randy Newman?
CPG2, I'm going to guess Michael Giacchino.
That is correct.
All right, with that, Brian takes a 1-point lead.
All right, Brian, here is your final question. In Pete's Dragon, what song does Pete's abusive adoptive family sing to defend their claim to him?
Multiple choice, please.
All right, a multiple choice. Is it A, The Happiest Home in These Hills, B, Every Little Piece, C, Bill of Sale, or D, It's Not Easy?
I'm going to go with my guns with B.
You said B?
B is the bomb.
All right. B is incorrect. So, David, you have the opportunity to steal. So I will read the question and your choices again. In Pete's Dragon, what song does Pete's abusive adoptive family sing to defend their claim to him? Is it A, The Happiest Home in These Hills, B, Every Little Piece, C, Bill of Sale, or D, It's Not Easy?
I am going to say D, as in David.
B, Every Little Piece is
No,
incorrect.
I said D.
He
D
said
is a-
D. D
as
is
in
a
David.
D. Ah,
Okay.
I have the worst connection right now. D as in David is incorrect.
Well,
We were looking for C, Bill of Sale.
wow, that's didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah,
All
same.
right. All right. So with that, again, not a bad round for Brian. He had to go to multiple choice a few times. But just like David, he had one that neither competitor could get. So that held him to only a 1-point lead. So this is easily still anybody's game. So let us go ahead and bring up the rules for round number 3. All right, in round number 3, competitors will pick numbers ranging from 1 to 20 that correspond to 3 random categories. Competitors will receive 3 questions that are worth 2, 3, and 5 points respectively. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. There is no stealing or multiple choice in this round. Repeats and challenges are still in effect. So, Brian, you are currently still have a 1-point lead going into this round. So you get to choose your 3 numbers first. What sounds good?
10, 18, and 4.
All right, 10, 18, and 4. All right. And David?
2, 3, and
2, 3, and
11.
11. All right. All right. So, as we said, David is down by 1 point, which really means nothing except that he gets to go first. So, David, you are going to have to answer your 2-point question in order to send the questions back to Brian and avoid the TKO. We are going to start with David with your 2-point question. David, you chose number 2, and that relates to the category of CG Revolution.
All right.
Okay. And your question: what is the assumed name of the handsome thief who befriends Rapunzel in Tangled?
Assume name. So Flynn Rider.
That is correct for 2 points. All right. So with that, David claims a 1-point lead, which is now going to force Brian to answer some of his questions.
All right. Brian, you chose number 10, and that relates to the category of mixed bag.
Okay.
Your question. In what film do we see Goofy and his son take a cross-country road trip?
One of my favorite films, a Goofy movie.
Goofy movie is correct for 2 points.
All right, moving on now to David's 3-point question. You chose number 3, and that relates to the category of the dark times.
All right.
Okay. So for 3 points, in Fantasia 2000, what celebrity appears to introduce the second segment before being upstaged by Itzhak Perlman?
It's been a while. Steve Martin.
That is correct for 3 points.
I knew he was in the movie, but I didn't.
All right.
Good, good guess.
And an educated guess from David pays off. David is now leading 17 to Brian's 15. So Brian is now going to have to answer his 3-point question.
All right, Brian, you chose number 18, and that relates to the category of the Renaissance.
Okay.
In Tarzan, what animal do the elephants originally think Tarzan is?
A piranha.
Piranha is correct for 3 points.
All right, so with that, Brian takes back the lead by 1, forcing David to his 5-point question. Now, at this point, if David hits this, he will send it back to Brian to have to answer his 5-point question. However, if David misses, Brian will win and move on to the semifinals. All right. So, David, you chose number 11, and that relates to the category of movie quotes.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah,
And your question, and as a reminder, you still have all 3 of your repeats. Okay? And your question for 5 points. In which film will you hear the quote, "I saw a really hairy guy. He looked like a bear"? in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat.
All right, that is your first repeat. And your question for 5 points. In which film will you hear the quote, "I saw a really hairy guy. He looked like a bear"? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Repeat.
Okay. That is your second one. You have one more. In which film will you hear the quote, "I saw a really hairy guy. He looked like a bear"?
I don't think another repeat is going to help me. It's probably one I haven't seen, so I'm gonna go Muppets Take Manhattan.
And your winner, moving on to the tournament semifinals, MadDog Brian Nussbaum. We were looking for Inside Out.
That's a tough one. Like I could put either.
Very, very.
I
All right. So, great match from both of you guys. Congratulations, Brian. We will see you in just a second for Poach's match interviews. Well, there you have it, Sorsha. A closely fought match from both of these competitors all the way through. It just came down to a really hard 5-pointer for David that just ended up not being able to capitalize on.
Yeah. I mean, those 5-point questions are, to go back to that question, they're bears.
Yeah, it's really, really tough stuff sometimes. So, but like I said, David played really well. Brian also played really well. Neither one of them was really dominated, even though Brian had a lead at the end of every match. It was close every single time. But yeah, great match from both of these competitors. So why don't we go ahead and throw it to post-match interviews. So here we have the Spaniard, David Garcia. Unfortunately, David, things did not work out for you today, but still a well-played match. How are you feeling today, sir?
Not bad. Like I couldn't remember David Ogden's tears in Hunchback.
Sure.
And The Little Mermaid, I don't like it that much, so I thought he was maybe in there. So yeah, and that I missed that, and I wouldn't have gotten the bonus anyway. So probably the result would have been the same because I wasn't changing my numbers, and I would have spun first if it was up to me. So yeah, I don't think I could have done anything different in the match. So.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just get those where, there's really nothing different you could have done. It just, what happened is what happened.
Yeah.
But like I said, you played a well-fought match today. Unfortunately, this means that you are out of the tournament. But we are hoping to see you again next season. Do you have any goals, any plans for next season?
Honestly, no. No, I mean, I come here for fun. I never consider myself championship material when it comes to Disney. So whenever you have me, I'll be happy to play. And yeah. So.
All right. Well, sounds good, sir. A pleasure as always, and good luck next season.
Thank you.
All right, and here we have today's winner, MadDog Brian Nussbaum. Brian, how are you feeling?
Feeling good. I finally got my perfect round, which I'd never gotten before, and it's good. I got my revenge on David for KOing me in another league.
Yeah. I mean, you got that, and like you said, you got your perfect round. But not only that, but you are now moving on to the semifinals of this tournament, and you will either see Mr. VHS Nazario
Again?
Montenegro or Jeremy the Atom Adams. Preferences? Any thoughts about that possible matchup?
I played Nazario twice before. I never played Jeremy, so I'll take Jeremy.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see how that works out for you. But like I said, you are now moving forward into the semifinals. If you win that, you'll be in the finals, one win away from a title shot. Any thoughts about your future in this tournament?
I'll see what happens depending on what questions come up. If I get my favorite category or not, we'll see what happens.
All right, we will just have to see. But again, congratulations, Brian. Well played match, and good luck in the next round. Well, there you have it. We have another competitor moving into the semifinals. Excited to see who is going to possibly be playing Brian in that semifinal match. But I think we have some exciting things ahead.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we'll see what the next match holds.
We will have to do that. But like I said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this tournament so far. The second round is not over yet. We've got plenty more matches after that. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment on the video. Let us know how we're doing. Also, do not forget to check out our podcast feed. You can find us at The Flying Cow on all podcast platforms. Check us out there. Also, do not forget to check out our Patreon. We have a Patreon over there, patreon.com/The Flying Cow. It's a lot of fun. We're doing a lot of great stuff over there, even some movie battle specific stuff. So come check that out. Join us over there. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff going on, but in order to check it out, you got to stay here. You got to stay watching. And as always, move.
Moo.